Good afternoon, y'all. This is Gerald Johnson. I'm with Ride the Wind. I am Ride the Wind. And this is my fourth attempt this morning to get this video done. What keeps happening is when I make a certain statement, it goes to a screenshot and my video is deleted. So I'm going to give this one or two more tries and I got to go. I don't know what I'm going to do. But I'm getting very tense. I was so tense yesterday, I don't want to go through it again today. I want to get some information out there real quick because for some reason, I'm also only allowed a certain amount of time, and I think that's what's happening here. So I've got to be quick. I'm going to try and cover three things. First of all, the chaos that's going on within the world right now is 100% distraction. Is 100% lies. Know this, and it's to hide something that humanity's not really going to be able to handle well, and I state that. I.e., because of the way that we handled or acted toward the virus. Okay, I explained to you that 5G military patent not only has the ability to plant brainwave patterns into your brain like a sociopathic murderer, but it also has the ability to gather our thoughts on a quantum level. What they do is they take our thoughts and our reactions, they feed them into a quantum D-Wave AI computer, and in a quarter of a second, they have their next step planned. Let me say that again. They feed it into a D-Wave AI quantum computer, and within a quarter of a second, they have the next move. Now, that I can give you a citation on right now. His name is Dr. Anthony Thatch. He's a particle physicist, and he's an MIT scholar, and he's a CERN expert. But we'll get into that one later, okay? So, let's call this one first capture. 6 years ago, in the sunset, I caught this little thing, 3 white dots, right? Didn't know what it was. It was in the days when I used to run around in the fields like a lunatic, taking pictures of the sky, right? Because I knew something was coming. I saw these dots around the sun, and people told me there was something. I just knew it. Something was coming, and it wasn't going to be good. It was going to end in anger. It was going to end in a negative way, but it doesn't have to. Okay, so the next morning, I'm getting my bid paid because at that time I was sucked into the Nibiru ether. Right, not going to get into that. It's a waste of time. An ISON military training video pops up and talks about what's going to transpire. The military movement that's going across the United States right now. UN troops and US troops, trains a mile long. Each car's got a tank or rocket launcher on it. $2.73 trillion worth of hollow point bullets floating around out there that Trey Gowdy did a hearing on with a military official in the Senate Select Committee, in a Senate Select Committee hearing. The bottom line to that hearing was Gowdy nailing the guy saying those are for killing, and also the military official popping out with the answer he didn't know where they were. Okay, these guys are not planning a birthday party. Okay, and what they're basing, and I understand this, their military movement and stand up on is our reactions. Because you can take the Great Depression and you can turn that baby up to 11, and that's where we're going to be at when these things pop through, or when we start to go through the magnetic reversal, which has already begun. If you haven't noticed, the sun's moving towards the north, okay? And that's for a reason. 5 years ago, the moon began to tilt, turned into a smiley face. I thought really that would kind of sell people, but that didn't work. 6/19/2019, last year, Fox, CNN, NASA announced the existence of exoplanets. Okay? Disclosure. I thought, cool. As I laid in my bed, very sick, recovering from, I want to talk about it. So I laid there just broken, looking at this, crying, that this finally came out. But here was a lie. They said they were light years away. You have seen my captures on my Facebook page. And for those of you who don't have it, my name is Daryl, Darryl Lynn, Lynn Johnson. Okay? It's my Facebook page, and all my work is posted or pushed over to the Facebook machine. That's what I use as far as a viewing platform to prove what I say. I work with a cam system of 3,000 cams. I can go to Siberia to which we're going to talk about that, to Australia, to Switzerland, Sweden, New York. I do have my sweet spots. Russia, Denmark, Norway, anywhere, Amsterdam. Give me a country and I'll send you a video from there. Okay, so I've become very adept at doing that because I used to spend 12 hours a day on it, you know, and I did for years. Kind of got to my cabeza. Okay. I'm getting lost here because I've done this video so many times. The main thing is what I just talked about, and I got to add to that. Barry, when he was in office, before he left office, it's called the Patriot Act. We may want to read it. Because in the end of the Patriot Act, Mr. Barry, executive ordered into the Patriot Act the ability to use force on U.S. citizen, foreign, and domestic troops. The ability to use force against U.S. citizens, foreign, and domestic troops, which are now here. Okay? The UN's been here. I don't know if I've said this, but I'm going to repeat it. Okay? They're learning guerrilla tactical warfare. They're learning our weapon system, and they've been learning English. Okay? Walmarts are converting into internment camps. Sam Walmart, guess what? Sam's, Walmart, etc., Best Buy, you know what he used to do? You know what he did? He was the guy who ran the internment camps in World War II, the Japanese internment camps. What do Walmarts look like to you? I think that's enough about that, right? Okay, so it was actually ENKE that popped out of Virgo's womb. And then make Dragon look bad. Dragon is not bad. Dragon is Ida's son. That's the quarterback. That's our quarterback. That's Asu, the Scarlet Letterman. That's the entity, the man that will be here to battle the gods, the CERN releases, while the event occurs. Now, what I'm going to define as the event is called a magnetic reversal, which has already begun. Magnetic north is now in South Siberia, and it is traveling south. The poles are melting because they're headed towards the equator. Not a bit of this climate change, grand solar minimum is true. Not a bit of what you're saying on the news is true. Barry took us from a $10 trillion debt that took 134 years to get to 20 trillion in an 8-year period, building underground shelters, underground highways, underground communication systems. Do you understand how the phones are going in and out, how we're having issues there, and they keep making excuses? Guess what they're doing? They're testing their comm system. They're going to go underground if they haven't already. And we're going to be watching pre-recorded programs on TV while they're sitting down there drinking wine. You understand what I'm saying? In shelters that we paid for. Now, what are we actually mad about right now in America? The wrong thing. This is going to be a catastrophic event, close to an extinction level event, kids. And I'm just going to put it out there because the truth needs to get out. We are tilting. We should have known this when the moon became a smiley face. I thought that was a big clue. 6/19, 2019. NASA, CNN, Fox announced the existence of exoplanets, but they lied. They said they're light years out there. They are not light years out there. They're in our solar system, and they are also wreaking havoc also. Because what they're doing is they're screwing up our magnetosphere through plasma discharges, galactic solar winds, and CMEs, which has actually broken our magnetosphere. So there's a big problem with our magnetosphere, which you may as well call it our skin. Okay? And when this happens, the magnetosphere will drop. The Earth will stop turning. We are going to go through the debris field of ISON, which is trillions of miles long when the Earth stops turning. Okay? It's trillions of miles long. We're not going to get hit by it. It's going to go by us. It's a big magnet, 10 times the size of the Earth, molten iron. Okay, the lines are the debris field that connects it. Okay, which makes a V. That's where the actual pyramid was derived from. Heavy stuff, huh? 4.5 million years. Been dragging because it is a magnet, picking up anything that has any metallic value in our universe. Okay? When the Earth stops turning and they start coming in, they will come in at 70 kilometers per second. Do the numbers on that. We won't even be able to see them. 90-pound balls of molten molten iron. And the magnetic reversal completes itself. The poles go to the equator, and I'll finish that up in another video. Okay? This has followed me my whole life. My first dreams about this were when I was 7 years old. This has been my message. This has been my purpose. I think this is, knowing this, the knowing is the reason a part of my life is self-medicated. I made some wrong decisions. I did time in prison. But for the last 7 years, I have excelled. I went back. I went to college. I'm an LCDC. I'm a National Merit Scholar. I'm in the history books. Every bit of my information, I know how to citate. I master very well in what I do as far as providing sources. Now I'm being told that this video needs to end. So I want to say I love you all. Thank you all for your help and spirituality and holding me up. Let's all lift all higher. Have a good day. This is Ride the Wind. This is part 1. I will be back with you. I hope it goes through, man. And thank you all you new subs. All my love and all my respect. I honor all of you and I pray for all of you. Have a good day.